This is like one of my favorite Oshun songs. Anyway, I love this song. I love that song. Hey everybody. Just wanted to get on here real quick and just let you know that you are loved and you're amazing and you are a gift to this planet. So this past weekend, Pussy Magic had an amazing event in San Antonio, Texas. And I'm just so happy about it. I'm happy that I felt like I was in my element, and that's so healing. It's so healing. It's so healing to follow your passion. So I'm on here today, right now, to let you know that when you follow your passion, you're being healed. So whatever that passion is, and it's usually going to surround, be related to, intertwined with some kind of trauma that you experienced in your life, or some kind of issue that you feel like is plaguing your life. Just follow your passion. Follow your passion. It made me feel like one of the scariest things for me, like straight up my entire life, was like public speaking. And I was just like, I just got tired of that shit, and I was like, you know what, it scares me so much that I'm gonna do it on purpose and go through the uncomfortableness and go through the whatever the feelings, the human feelings that we have to feel, because we decided to be here on this planet in this dimension. So we wanted to know what physicality felt like. So here we are. And it took a while, and I was shaky and scared, and I did Toastmasters, and I did YouTube channels, and I started getting on live and stuff, and I started creating these events for women because it was way out of my fucking comfort zone. But it's something that I do naturally. I'm always doing ritual. I always set up beautiful spaces, healing spaces for women to come in to heal, even if it's just like spa nights or sister circles. It's been a part of me. It's been a part of me since I can remember. So that's another clue how to find your passion. What is it that you did naturally from the time that you were little? What do you naturally gravitate towards? If money was not an issue, or like, what would you do? Yes. So it was an amazing event, and I'm very proud of myself because on March 19th, that same weekend, Pussy Magic put out our first product line of vaginal suppositories. These are handmade, organic. I really enjoy the process of making them. Because I make it an entire ritual. And I'm using cymatics. And cymatics is the science of vibrational healing, or the science of music healing. And so I put myself in a meditative state, and I do a few other things. And I really set it up. And it's very enjoyable. And so we launched our first product line. And it just felt so good. Like I come from a place that I never, ever would have thought myself doing what I'm doing now. Never would have thought I'd be an entrepreneur, business owner. Never thought I would be bold and proud enough to actually create a business that is basically all about like my passion and the things that I find important for my life and for me to be joyful and happy. Like I just kind of put all that stuff together, and I'm like, I want to create this more in my life. And like I said, like when you first start out, it's very uncomfortable. It's uncomfortable to get out of your comfort zone, and I don't. Maybe it's always going to be like that. I'm not sure, but I haven't never found it easy to get out of my comfort zone. And something else that I just want to emphasize, and I want to share that really works, is a mind shift change, a complete mind shift change. And I don't know if that sounds like taboo or anything, but you literally, if you want a different life for yourself, you literally have to become a different person. That's important. If you really want a different life for yourself, you have to become a different person. Otherwise, it's not going to work. You can't have the life that you want with the person that you are now. And that was difficult for me to get. But once I got it, I'm like, okay, well, we're just going to keep doing this whole growing and evolving thing. Because when I say I'm ready to take Pussy Magic, incorporate it to the next level, basically what I'm saying is I'm ready to take myself to the next level. When I say I'm ready to take my business to the next level, that's basically I'm saying I'm ready to take my personal development to the next level, because that's exactly what it means. That's exactly what it means. I really feel like that's super duper important and often overlooked, that you can't have what it is that you want in your future by continuing the same habits in the life that you're living now. If you're not like monetarily disciplined, if you don't have morning routine, if you're not getting up at 5 a.m, if you're not really taking advantage of the time that we have. We all have lots of responsibilities, married and kids, and we go to work and we do all these things, but we have to really take time out for ourselves. That's like pivotal. Self-care is like so important. So one of the things that I do with Pussy Magic and my suppositories is like, this is what I'm always saying. Our motto is healing through ritual. Why? Because ritual works. In science, they call it neuroplasticity. Ritual really works. And so when you buy some suppositories from me, you're not just going to get the package. You're also going to get instructions on how to actually ritualize the entire experience, so that you can get to how to ritualize the entire experience, so you get to the root of your vaginal sexual issues. And most of the time, these issues, sometimes they're just physical. Sometimes it's just, an overgrowth of bacteria or an overgrowth of yeast. But most of the time, from what I've seen in the past 11 years as an OBGYN nurse, it's a much deeper issue. It's an issue on how you view your body, how you view your sexuality, childhood traumas, relationship traumas, unhealed wounds from your past, sexual abuse. It's just, from what I've seen, it's not never, sometimes it is just something physical, but the majority of the time it really is some underlying issue that has been ignored. Shit, my phone's about to die. Some underlying issue that's been ignored. And it's manifesting itself in the physical. Man. Hold on, y'all. Let me not let the phone die this time. Oh, like I was saying. Okay, please stay here. Please stay there. Don't move. So yeah, this is true for any kind of illness, any kind of disease, any kind of imbalance that you have in your body. It's most of the time it's an emotional. I don't want to say most of the time, but a lot of times it's something so much more than just on the physical plane. And so there's just a few things that I recommend is self-care and affirmations and guided meditations and a slight dietary change. And one thing that I found after using CBD suppositories, I make cocoa butter and CBD suppositories, and what CBD does is just kind of like relaxes all the muscles in the area, and it's a great it's a great practice before adult play to relax yourself in whatever way that you like. Foreplay is a popular one. It's one of my favorite ones. But when I added the CBD in there, it just gave it like a new life, and I really appreciated it. And then the ones that are I love coconut oil, and that's like my lube of choice, but I got tired of those coconut oil jars, and they get so messy, and then they can easily get dirty, and so I was just like, so that was wearing me out. So I was just like, okay, let me just create something else. And then so the coconut oil suppositories I definitely recommend as a lube, and it has the added benefit of being antibacterial and antifungal. So it's also assisting you in harmonizing your pH too. So there's lots of good things. You could definitely come and check us out on the website butterflybirthingdoula.com. I'm just real quick, I want to talk about life coaches, just because life coaches are amazing, and I highly recommend them. I highly recommend life coaches to everybody. I'm just gonna be honest. I feel like everybody should have a life coach, at least at some point in their life. But I had a life coach a few years ago, and we worked together for a year. And there's something very powerful about someone holding space for you and being neutral and only wanting to see you win, and straightforward in pointing out the things that you need to change in your life, and bold and confident and skilled and intuitive and good at the psychology of humanity and the psychology of change, and you can see it in their own life, which, like, what I'm saying, if you're considering getting a life coach, make sure that they're happy in their life. Make sure that they're doing the things that you want to be doing, or you strive to be doing, or you strive to be feeling, or you want to achieve, or you want to get to a certain level. Because I definitely am very grateful. I'm very grateful for that, because I felt like it was a life-changing decision for me. And I think, it's been about 3 years, I think. Then I became a life coach myself. And even being a life coach now, and I love when I see women getting past the threshold where they're really changing themselves. And I do life coach for men too, but women seem to be mostly attracted to my style of coaching. And I still have a life coach. As a life coach, I still have a life coach because, first of all, when I see somebody at a different level and I want to get to that level, I'm totally okay for asking for help. And, okay, how do you do that? So, and then I get better as a life coach having a life coach, because then I'm striving to get to the next level, and then that's just making me better at what I do. So very excited about that. And that's something else that I totally did not expect that I would be doing at all. But definitely grateful for that experience and that growth, because when you can teach, that means that you know it, That's a good thing. I feel like there's something happening on the planet, and I feel like it's been happening for quite a while, and it's that things are changing, things are shifting. I don't know if you guys have noticed, like the weather patterns are like off the chain around the country. Like there's been like tornadoes like crazy all over. And I'm in Texas, so that severe Texas snowstorm that came through here, I thought I was in Chicago for a second, and I'm just not so much in the desert. Like Texas is 99% warm most of the year, which is why I live here. But yeah, so anyway, back to my point. Something is shifting on the planet, and I feel like it's a good thing. I feel like there's going to be a bifurcation, and people are going to feel they're going to be split in two. One group of people are going to say, oh, this is bad, and corona and politics, and this is bad, and the vaccines and the new world order. So a lot of people are going to go towards fear, which, I don't really blame them. I don't recommend it, though. And then the other half is going to go towards love and creating something new and more, okay, so this is the situation that we're in now. We're going to start coming together more as a species and creating something different. We have so many companies now that are coming out with new innovative ways to not make so much plastic waste, not have so much air pollution, not the ocean, like a lot of people. And I think this is what you don't see in the media, of course. What you're going to see in the media is like the fear and the vaccines and the red and blue lights, and they know how to play with sound bites and colors to fuck people up in the media. That's why I don't watch that shit no more. But there's also a large percentage of people, and I'm feeling like women are being particularly, I don't know, seems like Mother Earth is putting a fire in our asses to recognize that things need to be changed on the planet. And so that feels great to me. I know it can seem very scary because change is usually scary, but I also recognize that if we are brave enough to just face the change and go through it and trust our life, then once we get to the other side of it, it's going to be so worth it. And this is just from personal experiences. It's so worth it when you decide that, okay, this thing here that I'm scared of, instead of running away from it, I'm just going to go towards it, and I'm going to face it. And then once you do that, you recognize that it's really not as scary as you had made it out to be, because our perceptions are very powerful, and sometimes they can be very inaccurate. I appreciate y'all joining me. I appreciate it. Oh, super proud of you. Thank you, Keldrick. Yeah, so very excited about the upcoming events that Pussy Magic is creating. Our next stop is Chicago, and we're going to be up there in June. And like I was saying before, we just had an amazing epic event in San Antonio last weekend. And those spaces they're very healing, and they're very I created so that women feel completely at ease in talking about whatever it is that they feel like they need to talk about. It's women's work. That's what it is. That's what we do. We're doing women's work. And so when we come together in sisterhood, and when we have a very strong intention to create a safe healing space for ourselves, like it really works. Like I'm telling y'all, ritual works. I'm emphasizing it because I see that it works, and I see it in the women that come to the Pussy Magic events, because they're so thankful, and they're just like, wow, this space is like so necessary all over the place. It's just sisterhood. I mean, really, it's sisterhood, it's camaraderie, it's being intentional, it's lighting candles, it's dancing, it's talking about trauma, it's talking about tantra, it's talking about sex, it's talking about relationships, it's talking about being monogamous, being non-monogamous, being lesbian, diet, children, depression, anxiety, bipolarism, everything that we go through in life, yeast infections, BV, STDs, everything that we go through in life, acknowledge it. We need to, I think I got, am I still on? Can you guys still hear me? What would you say to someone considering becoming a doula? I think that, thanks for that question. I think that you should definitely become a doula. If it's in your heart to do it, because it's something that you need to learn about it. I've been a doula for, I think I'm going on 3 years now. And it's so amazing when you can support a family, support a mom in such a major transition in her life, which is going through motherhood. And you get empowered too. See, that's the thing. Like, in these events and when I'm doing doula work or I'm doing life coaching work, like, I'm positively affected. It's so interesting how that works, how the universe does that. Like, when you help others, you're actually helping yourself at the same time. So, yeah, absolutely become a doula. And I studied with Sister Midwife Productions. She's out of New Orleans. Not 100% sure that she's doing online doula courses now after this whole that bullshit. So you can find her. She's amazing. She's a certified nurse midwife, and she's a business owner, and she's a mama, and she's just a beautiful spirit. So I would suggest going with her. I think that the other doula programs, like the Donna and all the other white ones, they're cool and all, but we need to learn about us. And she incorporates like ancestral work. She incorporates like an altar when we're doing it. It's like a beautiful experience and learning about who we are and how we can positively impact our community, as doulas. And doulas are like, we're never just doulas. We're always like something else, or you meet somebody and you end up doing something else. So it's a beautiful networking opportunity. Nikki Deggings is her name. Deggins. Nicole Deggings. She's out of New Orleans. I don't think it's too many out there. So it's probably not going to be easy. It won't be hard to find her. Sister Midwife Production, that's the name of her company. But hey, Deja, whenever you're ready, you send me a request, babe. So, what was I saying? Yes. So every woman, I'm just going to say this, every woman needs to be doing woman's work. And most of the time we do that in some kind of way, but we need to be more intentional about it. We need to be more intentional about doing women's work. We need to become more intentional about doing women's work because it's necessary. It's very, very, very necessary. The day after our Pussy Magic Sister Circle, we had an event for young girls from age 9 to 17. And that came out so nice. It was basically a menstrual cycle celebration. And we taught them about ritual, about natural paths, about hygiene, about emotions, about herbs that are good for the womb. We talked about everything that had to do with the moon cycle. We talked about bleeding. We talked about emotions, about self-care. We talked about the importance of wearing natural pads that don't have a whole bunch of chemicals that's going to, respond negatively, where your body responds negatively. We taught them about like our ancestral practices and rituals to do during your menstrual cycle. It was great. They learned very basic ritual skills in the way that, we had them to cleanse themselves, sage, enter. It was a lot. It was really great. And, just seeing those young girls and how they were they were so happy to be in that space. They were so happy to be in that space and learn something that they didn't know, that they always had questions about. And, they felt safe. And we talked about sex, and we talked about everything that I know I didn't get when I was between age 9 and 17 about my womanhood and my sexuality and coming into womanhood and what does it mean when you're having menstrual cramps. Like, there's ways to resolve it. You just have to listen to your body. And so to learn that from such a young age, I think it's vitally important. And that's why we did it. And just seeing those little girls made me realize, like, wow, like, our girls need us. Our girls need us to create these events. We can't wait on nobody else to do this shit for us. We have to do it for ourselves. We have to do it for our families. We have to do it for our girls and our boys, because they need to learn that too, that it's not something that you make fun of, and it's sacred, and it's something that you honor and that you respect. So men should be doing that for boys, and women should definitely be doing that for girls. So if you are in a city and you I'm basically recommending that create it in your city. Of course, there's resources. Contact me if you want more information on that. But this is what I was talking about earlier when I was just like, there's going to be a side of humanity that's going to go completely towards, oh, this is a new beginning. We're going to create something new. We're going to do something that hasn't been seen on the planet before. We're going to be novelty, which is the whole purpose of being in this dimension and this universe is novelty. It's to create what has not been seen before. And just to expand that. And when you do that, like when you follow your passion, like your life gets happy. No pun intended. Hey, Jordan. Thanks for joining. Okay, so I'm going to see if I can ask a friend of mine to join me here. You know what? My IG has been acting up. Okay, so maybe not. Deja, if you can still hear me, just send me a request because I'm not able to send it right now. But yes. Like I was saying earlier, when I say that I'm ready to take Pussy Magic to the next level, I mean the product line that I just started, my coaching business, my doula business, and just our events, the events, because right now we're doing them about like every 2 to 3 months, around the city mostly. We're focused everywhere, but Chicago is our next stop in June. So I'm really excited about that one. If you guys go on my I can hear you, and my request option isn't there either. Damn, that sucks. I had to actually I had to delete Instagram off of my phone completely and reinstall it in order to get on this live today, Deja. So I don't know what's going on, but it's definitely. Oh yeah, try that. It's definitely some interesting stuff going on, but anyhow, so yes, our next stop is Chicago, and we're really excited. We're going to have henna at this one, which it's always such a lovely thing to have. I love henna. And then we'll have, it's legal in Chicago. We'll have edibles, and we're going to have an amazing time. We're going to have dinner. We're going to have a Tantra workshop. We're going to create a space that is powerful and intentional, and that's safe. And this is the thing that I love about science, which is why I definitely add science into when I'm making the vaginal suppositories. It's like science is it's just another language of spirituality, because it literally says the exact same thing that spirit says, except in a different language. And so when you come into a place and the vibration is, say, 432 hertz vibration, and you have a vibration that might be slightly lower or whatever, when you come into the space, you automatically your vibration starts changing automatically. It's an amazing thing going on. Definitely, I hear you, but I don't see you. Oh, there you go.
Hey.
What's going on, sweetie?
Nothing much.
And let everybody know what you do, where you at.
Okay, my name is Deja, and I'm in San Antonio. I am a comedic yoga instructor. I teach private sessions. I teach couple sessions, private group sessions, as well as mommy and me classes. So I'm a certified comedic yoga instructor, and those are the things that I teach. And that's me. The Indian variations, and how a lot of this course, it's older, and the people who have created each practice, whether it's Hatha, Iyengar, like all different styles, they've passed on. But right now, to have the blessing to be able to sit at your Rahotep's feet right now while he's alive is just beautiful, and get to hear his message. It was just amazing. I love it.
But so how did you feel about the Pussy Magic event that you attended this past Saturday?
I loved it. I think it was the prescription that I needed. As you see, even right now, just for one live, getting a moment to myself is not something that happens quite often. So when I do go out, I want to make sure that the time is spent, that it's like quality things. So I just don't leave my house or leave my children just to go to any old place. And I loved going to the event. I loved being surrounded by all of the women. I love the age ranges that were there. We're just learning from each other. I feel like this is something that you'd experience outside of San Antonio. So if you were in DC or Chicago or Baltimore or New York or all these places where that are a little bit more heavily melanated, then you'd be involved in these circles all of the time. But the fact that you're able to have it here in San Antonio and have so many variety, just Black women in general, we're just amazing. And to see women who have different personalities, different characteristics, there's no way to put us in a box. And if you were in that room, like if you're privy enough to be in that room, you would see just the variety. Just, it was just amazing. And learning and being welcoming and the positive energy and the vibes of like-minded people, but with different life experiences to share was awesome. So one, like I said, I know you, so I knew, and it wasn't broadcasted out to the world, so I knew it wasn't going to be an event full of a lot of people, but it was the perfect amount of people. I didn't have much resistance, but even just upon walking in with some of the candle lights, and you can just feel it. You can feel
my spiel. And it is the full moon today. It's the full moon today. So, like I am always saying, take the time to harness this energy and ritualize the day. Or, you know, of course, any day is sacred. I just happen to have this fond, you know, appreciation for the moon when she's in her fullness and when she's in her complete emptiness too in the new moon. So, yeah, I'm not staying on much long because Instagram is about to cut me off anyway. So, I love you guys. Thank you for joining. Peace and blessings.